All right, and we are back. This is the third part of the lesson. We're going to review really quickly. So we have a staff and then a treble clef. Remember, we start at the bottom with line number 1 and we end at the top with line number 4. Same thing with the spaces. We start at space number 1 at the bottom and end with space number 4 at the top. So this note here is on line number 3. It's a B. The next note is on line number 1. It is an E. Next note is on line number 2, and it is a G. And the last note is on line number 5, which is F. It's not supposed to spell a word. This time we'll be spelling a word on the staff. So I'm going to put a note on line number 5, then space number 4, then line number 1, and finally line number 4. You can pause the video to figure out what this word is spelling on the staff. Right, answer time. So the word was feed, F-E-E-D. Hopefully you got that right. All right, this time I'm going to put the word badge at the bottom and we're going to graph badge on the staff. So B is on line number 3, A is on space number 2, D is on line number 4, G is on line number 2, and E is on line number 1. Or you could have chosen space number 4. When you connect them together like this, it looks like a line graph. In this example, I will be drawing the notes on the staff. The first note is on space number 3. The second note is on space number 2. The third and fourth note is on line number 3. The fifth note is on space number 2. The sixth note is on line number 2. And the last note is on space number 4. Answer time. First note was C, then A, then B, B, A, G, and E. I spelled the word cabbage on the staff. Now we know the notes for the lines on treble clef is E, G, B, D, and F. And the notes for the spaces spell face, F-A-C-E. Notice how these letters are in alphabetical order, starting with E and ending on F. Now, if I wanted to put a note below the first line, that note would be D as in dog. And there it is. If I wanted to put a note on top of line number 5, it would be G as in goat. What letter comes before D in the alphabet? It would be C, but there's no place for C on the staff. So what I have to do, I have to draw a tiny little line like such, and then I'm going to put a C on that line. This C is called middle C. Hopefully we'll get to why it's called middle C later, but today it's just called middle C. Now we're back at the top of the staff. If I wanted to put a note above G, I'd still have to draw that tiny little line because there's no space for it, and that note would be A. The next note would be B. I have to draw a tiny another line and then put the B directly on top of that line. The next note would be C. Instead of drawing one line this time, I now have to draw 2 of these tiny lines and then put a C. This is not the same as middle C. All right, now we're moving to the bottom of the staff. So after middle C, I have to draw another tiny little line and then put a B underneath that tiny line because there's no space for that B on the staff. The next note, I have to draw 2 lines, and that note would be A. A goes directly on that second line. These short little yellow lines are called ledger lines. Ledger lines are short lines that extend the range of the staff for when notes are either too high or too low to be written on the staff. Now we're going to spell a word on the staff, at least using one or two ledger lines. Take a few minutes to figure out what word I'm spelling on the staff. Answer time. So, first note is D as in dog, then E, then C, then A, then D, then E. I spelled the word decade. So that's all that we're going to go over today in music class. I really hope you guys are being safe. And to my eighth graders, I really hope I get to see you guys before you go to high school. Bye.